長官ユナイテッドエンパイア今日は試合があったそして彼がエンパイアのちょっと応援してくれるってよみんなブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
Not gonna lie, pretty terrible, but it's okay.
I gotcha. Phillies did win, though. Orange Cassidy did win as well, so I know that's an upside for you on both fronts there.
Yes, that was very great baseball game, great night of Rampage.
Absolutely. All right, so we are here tonight for episode 83 of the Broken Tables podcast for our AEW Rampage review. This was a live episode of Rampage from Daly's Place, is that correct?
Yes, this was a live episode.
Yeah, this was an excellent episode here tonight. We started off the night right off the bat with the Acclaimed versus the Varsity Athletes. That's what Mark Sterling is calling Tony Nese and Josh Woods. The rap, this rap was so good. I love what they said right at the beginning. We don't care what you say. We're going to win like we won the ratings on Tuesday. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Triple Paul somewhere having a conniption.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was a great rap. Loved it.
Yeah, the crowd was super hot for the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed are absolutely loving the Acclaimed right now. Sterling and Mark Woods, they did a really good job here in this match of playing the heels. They got Daddy Ass ejected. They had the ref, he had to step in and eject Daddy Ass because, he caught him slipping. So, Billy Gunn gets ejected. But, right after that, we get the rest of an incredible match here. We got a 2 count. For Bowens, super, super close, 2.9. Max Caster comes in the ring and pumps himself up. He eats a super kick. This match was fantastic from beginning to end, man. What'd you think of this match?
It was a really fun opening match. These live Rampage shows just really do it. They just have a really big feel to them.
Yeah.
Which you could just feel it. Like people that say they can't tell the difference between a live and a taped wrestling show. It's just watch these episodes of Rampage, and it's like night and day. Like this crowd was ready to go, and just the atmosphere is just a vibe too, of the fact that it's live. There's something about it. I don't know why that happens, but it just does.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Varsity Athletes are like a really good tag team. Actually, I think that it's a really smart pairing. Tony Khan does a lot of things correctly, and one of those things is just his ability to just put together these tag teams and for them to just.
And I didn't think so at first, but Tony Nese and Josh Woods do fit together pretty well. They have some sort of chemistry I didn't see coming.
Yeah, and I think you just put Mark Sterling with them. I mean, Mark Sterling is just such a phenomenal manager. I mean, I think it's a lost art in wrestling today with great managers. And AEW just has quite a few of them. You got Mark, Stokely, the list goes on and on. There's just good managers in AEW, and I think that's really cool.
Yep, I agree. So the Acclaimed, Max Caster gets all pumped up. Anthony Bowens gets all pumped up. They hit what's called the arrival and the mic drop combo. They get the 1, 2, 3. And you know, Mark Sterling comes out and says, you know, you're not getting this. I guess that was the rights to the scissoring. And Daddy Ass comes back out because he was no longer banished from ringside. And he throws Mark Sterling over the top ropes. And like the Acclaim said at the beginning of the match that they were going to stomp his nuts in, they literally stomped Mark Sterling's nuts. You know, they each grabbed a leg and they went to town, man. I was kind of surprised at that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great post-match segment with them getting the IP back, I guess. Um, Billy Gunn's just killing it. Did you
Yeah,
hear about all
absolutely.
the whole thing with the DX reunion with Billy Gunn?
I did, but I bet you have the story more laid out. Go ahead and explain that one for us.
So I mean, WWE, they did the DX reunion a few weeks ago, and Billy Gunn was not there. So when the story officially came, you know, first kind of broke about this, it was more of the Fed's perspective of it, where they were saying like, well, we really wanted Billy here, but you know, we did everything we could, it just couldn't, you know, it wasn't on us. Um, and then Fightful broke the story a little bit further, with a little more details about what AEW was asking. Um, then you know the WWE wasn't going to pay Billy, and AEW didn't ask for money. All AEW wanted to be done, they could use Billy. They just had to say that Billy was with AEW.
Yeah, they just
That
needed to mention AEW, right? That's all they wanted.
that's all they wanted. And at one point, even based off what was said with Fightful, it was discussed and it was acceptable for them just to kind of put a little the AEW logo on his like name card.
Not
But
even
of
that. They
course,
could have gone along with what Road Dogg did last week, or you know, when they did the reunion, or with what he did do, where he was like, he's got an office job somewhere playing with, you know, playing with office supplies. I think it was Corey Graves that said that actually. They
yeah.
could have just had Road Dogg say that, you know, like, hey, how are the office supplies over in AEW? Like that would have been as simple as can be, and it would have referenced the scissoring, and it would have referenced AEW, and got everything done. You know.
And the problem was not even that, but then, of course, Fed propaganda was going around. Road Dogg was saying that WWE did all they could, you know, and this tweet's there. It exists. You can go look at it. You know, he says, like, whoa, WWE did all that we could to get Billy to show up. And it's like, well, clearly you didn't. They literally just wanted you to acknowledge that they exist.
Yeah.
Um, and it's again, it's just, it's the wrestling war. It's like, God forbid there was any collaboration. Although the Fed is working really buddy buddy with GCW, which I mean, good riddance for that. Um, yeah, but you know, yeah. So really funny story. But Billy Gunn is here in EW, looking just as phenomenal as he always has. So
Oh, absolutely. All right, next up we had Jade Cargill sitting backstage with Tony Schiavone in a sit-down interview. You know, and immediately she just tells Tony to cut the shit, and she explains how tonight Penelope is actually injured, and they're gonna put Layla Gray in with Willow Nightingale, and Jade is gonna get her belt back no matter what, or she ain't leaving. So that's pretty much what this was all about. Pretty nice. And guy, let me tell you, man, Jade looked absolutely incredible tonight. Just, oh man.
yeah, the
Next,
jacket is something else.
yeah, her jacket was so awesome. It was like all golden and just fit her perfectly. Next up, we had a really, really good segment here. I actually loved this. We had Eddie Kingston with Ortiz and the Lucha Brothers, and it was essentially like a backstage intervention for Eddie's anger because, you know, Eddie's been getting himself disqualified in some matches and holding people in submissions for way too long and kind of blacking out. Um,
Well,
what'd
so
you
I
think?
mean, it's going beyond that. They're telling a story. They're doing what is smart business in the story. You know, that's come from Eddie and Sammy kind of going at it. That's the story they're telling. That Eddie is a loose cannon, and
Mm-hmm.
you know he doesn't want to screw up this job. So I thought that it was really cool. It's always really smart to make money out of the drama, and they're doing that with Eddie. So that's very smart.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like this segment here. You know, when Pac came in, it seemed like it changed the entire tone of the whole room. It made it very obvious that Pac was not invited to this little intervention here. So, you know, I think we're gonna see this breakup, like I was talking about, of the Lucha Brothers and Pac, the Death Triangle here, possibly. Either that, or they're maybe gonna go heel if they're gonna go along with Pac and kind of, leave their friend Eddie there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think AEW is never afraid to swerve the fans. AEW knows that fans that watch the product are very smart fans. We sit here in the podcast and we say all the time, like, oh, well, clearly this person's turning heel. Clearly this person's, switching sides. Sometimes they do that, but other times, Tony will swerve us. I don't, I don't know which way they go with this, but I think that they could go either way, and I think that
Yeah,
that's pretty.
it is. It makes it unpredictable, and that's the best part.
Yeah, I do think that obviously Pac has already turned heel. Um, but what happens with the Lucha Brothers? I mean, who's to say?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I'm going. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we had Hook versus Ari Daivari, and Ari Daivari didn't get an entrance here. I was scared he was going to get squashed. You know what I mean? Usually when you don't get an entrance, you don't get much time.
It's a live Rampage.
Exactly. Yes, it was live. So,
They had to. I bet you that a lot of those promos we saw tonight were not seen by the live audience. I would wager that that was probably something that happened.
that's possible. I mean, I would assume that they played him on the big screen at least.
Well, no, because they were doing entrances while that was going on. I mean,
Oh,
maybe
you're right. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Tony Khan has really kind of mastered the art of like really just stacking an hour of television. Like
Yeah,
what this guy
absolutely.
can do with television, like 1 hour of it is just it's kind of mind numbing. Like sometimes you look at the notes of a Rampage that we have, and it's like 3 pages for an hour of TV. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that, but he did.
Yeah, it's getting more and more impressive every week when he does this. So everybody that's missing out on Rampage, you guys are selling yourselves short because the rumors of it being not must see TV are pretty over exaggerated, if you ask me.
Yeah,
But go
I
ahead.
think Rampage is definitely. I would classify Rampage at this point as must see TV.
Yeah,
I think
I
we've
would
seen a
as
lot
well.
of
My
yeah.
only complaint would be that we need storylines progressed on it, but you definitely had the Jade Cargill storyline here tonight, so it's fine. I think it is definitely must see. So
Yeah, I think that they progress the storylines pretty well. About an hour ago, Sonny Kiss tweeted out teasing that he wants to face Hook at Full Gear.
I mean, it's your funeral, man. Okay.
Well, I mean, Sonny Kiss is from Newark, so
Yeah, that'll work. I'm
or
okay with it.
from Jersey. They're from Jersey. But yeah, so it looks like it makes sense. I mean, Hook is feuding with the Trustbusters, so I mean, probably makes the buy-in or the 0 hour, whatever they call it. It'll be the 0 hour.
All right. So this hook match, this was a really good match. Davari got in some pretty decent offense here. Can you remember if we've seen Hook take more, punishment than this? This was probably, I think, the most we've had to see him sell, right?
Yeah, I want to say that's correct.
It at
It
least
it
felt that way.
it seems like they're just slowly easing the Hook into these longer matches. I mean, I don't know if they want to go like I don't know. I don't know what their plan is here. I think either way, Hook is going to be great. I don't know if they're
Oh
going
yeah.
to keep letting Hook just go through these people and destroy them and be like Goldberg, or the more realistic route I think is to eventually have it so he is working some longer matches. But I mean, yeah, I don't have an issue with it either way. I prefer the longer matches, but that's why Hook works so great on Rampage is that it's only an hour long, so they need some shorter matches. So Hook can go in there and look dominant on an hour episode of Rampage, and it's acceptable if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. They gave him a full match here. Ari Davari had his butler Jeeves out there, and
Mhm.
we got some an interruption from Jeeves. We got him pushing Davari into Jeeves and stuff like that. So Hook's definitely learning. He's got everything, as far as I can tell. He's got everything down, man.
Yeah, I mean Hook's great. I don't think it's a problem of being a rookie at this point or being
No, not at all.
inexperienced. I think that's just how they're easing him in. I mean, Hook's lore is that Hook's unstoppable. So until Hook takes that loss, which he still hasn't done, you're just going to see these kinds of performances. Like I assume they're going to hit a point where they're like, oh wow, Hook's gone, 3 years or whatever without losing a match. Like maybe it's time to start hyping up the streak, and then he starts having these matches where it's a little bit closer, and the people he's facing are just getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer until whatever happens.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I like that. All right. So yeah, Hook wraps up the red rum on Ari Davari while he's actually outside the ropes. I think it's the first time we've seen Hook do this. Davari was outside the ropes. Hook was in the ring. He wraps him up in the red rum and just drags him over the ropes back into the ring and gets him to tap out, but Hook ain't letting go, man. Davari pissed him off, so he chokes him out unconscious. Jeeves gets in the ring to tend to Davari, and Hook wraps him up in the red rum as well and chokes him out, leaves everybody unconscious in the ring, and storms on out.
Yeah,
Fucking
well,
love
it's great.
Hook, man. This kid is badass.
Yeah, he really is.
Kaz should be proud as you could be as a father there.
I think he is.
Oh, guaranteed, man. He's just probably backstage with this massive smile with Tony Khan sitting next to him, like, yep. you know. All right, next up, we had Lexi Nair backstage with the Firm, or, more importantly, it was Ethan Page, Stokely Hathaway, and Matt Hardy. I actually thought that this was, I don't want to know, I'm stuttering here. I don't know if cringe is the word for this, but it could possibly be. So, Matt Hardy, I don't know where this came from. He tried to throw out a rap here. Like, can you explain what happened here to me?
Sure. So Stokely, he got Matt's contract, and he I think it might have been before Dynamite on Tuesday. I don't remember if it was before Dynamite or before the last Rampage. No, it was Dynamite because Rampage is when he lost his contract to the Firm. Stokely gave him, he's like, all right, well, since you're under my contract, under my employee, you need to pass like this test. And if you don't take it, like it was this whole thing where he gave him like this test, and it was like a 3-page multiple choice test, and it was all like rap questions, um, about like music and rap and stuff like that. So that was kind of where that was coming from, where Stokely was like, he was just basically saying like, Matt, you need to learn how to gel with me, or you're gonna have a rough time. And I think that was Matt kind of being like, yeah, I know all about this shit that you're testing me on, that you're quizzing me on.
And he said that he was like, "Where's Private Party at?" And Stokely said, "We sent them down to the Stokely Hathaway Wrestling Academy." Now, do you know, is that like an actual thing?
No, it's probably a knock at NXT.
Okay, not gonna. Oh, good point. Good point.
I mean, we're seeing a bunch of this story with Matt and just like the contract tampering and this, that, and the third. I mean, I don't know for sure because there was nothing really too concrete about it. But if I had to take a guess based off the meta-ness that has been Matt Hardy in 2022, it was probably something like that. It was probably
Okay.
like a knock at NXT. Like, oh, where are these guys? Like, oh, I sent them back down to the academy.
That's actually pretty funny. All right, so next up we had Willow Nightingale versus Layla Gray. Um, so I gotta say that I was expecting this to be the low point of the night, obviously, with Layla Gray in there. Willow is always amazing in the ring, but I was not sure what to expect, with Layla Gray getting thrown in there. I was actually like pretty stoked to see Penelope, her being from Philly. I actually really enjoy seeing Penelope and Kip. So they said that she was injured, but it sounded like it might be a kayfabe injury, just an excuse to get this match going with somebody from Jade. Did you hear anything?
No, I didn't, and that was the weird thing. Kip wrestled on Dark tonight.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear anything about Penelope. I don't know. I mean, is it possible that Penelope also wrestled on Dark and got hurt? Possibly.
Oh, shit.
Um, Yeah, there wasn't really a lot going off of the. All I know about Dark is that it's really good this week. It's another banger episode of Dark.
Nice.
Riho's wrestling. Um,
Oh, is it Matt Hardy wrestling? Didn't Stokely say, hey, we're gonna have you go perform on Dark?
yeah, there was some other big names that I didn't 100% recognize, or at least I didn't recall who they were that were on the Dark tapings. I know that there was a Joshi wrestler that some of the Joshi crowd that I follow on Twitter, they were really excited for her.
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
and she wrestled Riho. So apparently that was like people
Oh,
are saying like you could tell Kenny's back. Like if you like this episode of Dark is an Omegaism um episode of Dark. It's apparently very, very good. Um but I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with Penelope. But that's another great thing about these live dark or live rampages on Friday is that they're filming these dark shows for the YouTube channel, and they are very, very good shows. Um,
yeah,
People that
absolutely.
are sleeping on Dark and Elevation in the last like few weeks, stop it. It's a really good show. Like honestly, and I'm not just saying that. Like they've been very good shows.
Yeah. And like I started saying here, I was expecting this to be kind of a low point of the night, but I was extremely surprised. I don't know who Layla Gray is training with, but she did absolutely fantastic in this match. Not sure if it was just Willow is able to help put on a great match because she's fantastic. I've never seen anything with Willow that was not good. I'm wondering if maybe she was just able to carry this, but Layla looked fantastic. She was selling great. She was taking moves great. Um, I, I, there was one point where JR said this is kind of bowling shoe ugly, but I think it was just part of the scuffle that was going on there, But I thought this match was fantastic. Did you kind of feel the same way here?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it
Yeah.
was a really good match. They didn't have a lot of time to work with, but again, it's a Rampage show. It's an hour long.
Hmm.
They put 4 matches on Rampage, so you know that 2 of the 4 matches are going to be quick ones. Um, and yeah, I thought it was really good. I was really happy um for the post match.
Hey, we got Purpleness in the chat saying nice jacket, Jeff. Oh yeah, we got to show this off real quick. The old FTR jacket from the AEW shop has arrived. This thing is super nice, man. It's a little thin, like if it gets super cold out here in Philly, I'm gonna have to put like a sweater underneath. But this thing is, oh, it's so nice. And even the back, I probably can't show you guys the back right now, but it's
Yeah,
it is
you were waiting a
fantastic.
while on that one.
What's that?
You were waiting a while on that jacket.
I was, yeah, and what's kind of funny is all this week I was hoping to have it for today, and I didn't
Mhm.
bother checking the mail because they actually shoved it in the mailbox. Usually a package like this will get put on my front door, so it was sitting out there probably for a few days, and I could have had it. So yeah, great match between Willow and Layla here. Willow hits a huge spine buster. I thought that was the end of the match, but no, we get a 2 count. Willow gets up, she pumps herself up, hits a big doctor bomb, which is what she calls the gut wrench power bomb. I gotta ask you, what do you think of the name of this move here, the doctor bomb? I really feel like it doesn't fit her character even a little bit. Like Britt Baker's the doctor. Like I don't know. It's just weird that it's called the doctor bomb. I don't understand it.
Well, I'm going to say that I think that it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
There's probably some other wrestler that used that move and called it a doctor bomb,
Okay.
or that variation of the move is just called a doctor bomb.
That makes sense. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I was just kind of wondering when they keep saying that. I was like, man, why is that called the doctor bomb?
Yeah, I fully trust Excalibur. If Excalibur says it's called something, then
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
gonna.
trust. That's why I'm taking it
Yeah.
as fact. I'm just like, why?
We got Madmen in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Saying Penelope Ford's best friend said she's not injured.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. Whoa,
Yeah,
that
it
is
might
a
have just been
crazy ass
story type
Pokemon he
thing.
came in as.
Um, so post match, Tony Schiavone comes out and
Yes.
announces that Willow Nightingale is all elite, and we
Oh,
get the graphic.
how many weeks have I been asking for this graphic?
I think we all have been.
Pretty much every time we see her. I'm like, give me the graphic, please. I want Willow All Elite.
Yeah, so MJF quote tweeted the Willow graphic saying Long Island's own with a bunch of exclamation marks, and then afterwards followed up with another bonus.
Gotcha.
So he's marked he was excited for her, but then was also like, but I got paid to say that.
Yeah. Madman says, I think she didn't want to lose or something happened backstage. Well, my guess, Mad, is this whole thing with Nyla Rose and the title, they just wanted an excuse to kind of get Jade out there. So they used Layla and Kira Hogan to kind of already be out there. I don't know. It does seem a little odd, but we'll find out soon enough.
We won't,
All
because
right.
it's none of our business.
So yeah, absolutely awesome. We finally get our graphic. Willow is All Elite. Man, it's been a long time coming. I think we've been seeing her for almost a total of a year and a half, at least, maybe almost 2 years now.
Yeah, the road for her has been, definitely a long one, but very happy for her.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next up, we had Jade Cargill come out with a chair. She sits down in the middle of the ring and says, I want my belt. I'm going to count to 10. Nyla better get her ass out here. And she counts to 10, and we get a video of, well, not a video, but a live feed of Nyla Rose outside in a car. And I kind of noticed right away, because I follow Jade on her Instagram, you know what I mean? This was Jade's car. So Nyla Rose had Jade's car, and not only did she steal her belt, she has now stolen her car. So that's Grand Theft Auto. I don't know where we're going from here, but GTA, man.
Well, I mean, at this point, Jade should probably just call the authorities.
Exactly.
Um,
It's grand larceny at this point.
I so like, I feel like AEW is like, obviously this is just the other side, but they've been complaining about the women's division. I'm just like, this is like, the women's division has been excellent. I love this Jade Nyla storyline. It's something new. It's something fresh that we haven't seen. We've seen the stolen belt storyline before in wrestling. Not in AEW and not in a while. So I've actually been really enjoying this, and I think that that was a great way to keep it going, was for her to steal Jade's car.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I started laughing.
Yeah, just great segment with Nyla, and they even let Marina kind of be a part of the promo too, which is really good. I mean, Marina's not very good, so you need to kind of give her the reps. But yeah, I thought it was a really awesome segment. Jade says that she sends the baddies out to get the car, like they're going to be able to catch it. And she says, well, I'm still not leaving. And then she knocks out some security guards and then leaves. That was my one thing. I was like, why is Jade saying she's not leaving? And then she leaves.
Yeah, we both said that to each other, me and Purple. We were kind of like, all right, she said she's not leaving, but she just got out of the ring. Yeah,
she shouldn't have just said, well, I mean, I guess because they want to lead up to the spot with the security guards. But I think it could have been, I don't know, I feel like it could have been accomplished just by being in the ring and just being angry. But I don't know. I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's just a little thing that
I think if this had been a taped episode of Rampage, they would have cut it as she was getting out of the ring there, and they probably wouldn't have shown us that last guy get knocked on his ass on the side.
Yeah.
But that actually brings me back to the camera angles for tonight with Daly's place, with the ring placement being the way it was. I actually really enjoyed it being different than normal. You know what I mean? Like how hard cam wasn't just right there on the front row of a crowd. The crowd was kind of skewed a little bit off to the side.
Yeah, I don't think it's because of the pandemic, but like, I really enjoy when they're at Daly's place.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling of, I don't know, nostalgia in a weird way, but also just, I guess, kind of feels special. Because it's such a recognizable venue. Not many wrestling venues are like that, where like you're watching a weekly episode of AEW and you instantly know where they are. Like, that's Daly's place. Like, you just know.
Yeah.
And yeah, the hard cam being on the side, the side that usually is like an empty side across from the stage. I think that's just, it's a really cool look, and I think it really works.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very much enjoying that tonight. It felt new and different, you know what I mean, even though it was kind of
Mhm.
old and not different.
Yep.
So next up we got a video package that I really really hope you guys were able to see this week. If you didn't see it tonight, it was on Twitter. We posted it in Discord. Rome, you want to do this one here, the video package?
Sure. Yeah, I love this video package so much. So number one, they kind of do it's an Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference in the beginning, which is like, thank you, love it. And so you got Ten and Roosh in the bar at Daly's place, which again is another just really weird thing and cool thing about Daly's place. Like I've never been there, but because they filmed BTE there for like a year, it's like I know the backstage of like Daly's
Yeah.
place, so they're in the bar area, which again, like I just love these backstage Daly's Place segments because it's just a throwback. They're in the bar, and Roosh and Ten were supposed to have a match, a singles match on Rampage tonight. They do this thing where they want to fight. Roosh is still trying to get Ten to join their group, LFI, and Orange Cassidy comes up from the bar, puts his book bag on the table. He brings the belt out. He's like, "Hey, I won this. Did you see it? Have you seen it yet?" And so he gets them both a beer. He's like, Ten's like, I don't have a mouth on my mask. He's like, bummer. Like, what about you, Roosh? Roosh is like, I don't want a beer, but I want that title. And so Cassidy, like, so I love Orange Cassidy, and I love where he's at right now because this is the Orange Cassidy that, like, when I say he can be a world champion, it's stuff like this where he's
Yeah.
just like, oh, so you want to fight him, and you want this title? Maybe I can make that happen for you. Maybe I fight both of you at the same time for this. Now they cut it on Rampage, but the Twitter video, the video on the socials, is so fucking awesome
It's
because
so good.
he turns and he's like, he books this match.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you cool with that, Tony?" And it cuts, and Tony's at the bar drinking. And he's like, "Sounds good. Book it." Just, oh man. And like I loved it. I wish that they didn't cut that off of Rampage. Because I love the Tony Khan. Tony doesn't go on screen very often, but damn it, I love it when he does. And yeah, so that sets up for the three-way dance for the All Atlantic Championship.
Yeah, I thought this was great. Some reason my camera froze again. Can't stand this new camera. But yeah, this was awesome. I love this video package, especially the one on Twitter. If you guys go to the AEW Twitter and check out the one that they have with with Tony on it, it is absolutely hilarious. So I love how they asked Orange Cassidy, why are you getting in between these guys? This was part of the whole but Mark Henry, it's time for the main event. He kind of asks Orange Cassidy, why are you getting in between these guys? These guys were about to go fight on their own, and you jump in between and and volunteer to fight both of them and put your title on the line. Why the heck are you doing that? And before he even answered, I was like, I don't know. And then here he comes with, I don't know. I thought it was absolutely great, just perfect.
Yeah, I think it's such a great payoff. They've had Orange kind of making, just being funny during these Mark Henry segments, and for him to obviously there's three of them. It's the first three-way dance in Rampage main event history. So instead of doing a three-way screen, they just have him on Mark Henry's screen. And again, yeah, it's just excellent. I love Orange Cassidy. I love him a lot. He's
Yeah.
fantastic.
He was trying to steal Mark Henry's lines, and Mark was like, Orange, stop. It was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a really fun segment.
All right, so it was time for the main event, and we did get Orange Cassidy versus 10 versus Roosh in a triple threat, a three-way dance, as Rome would call it, for the AEW All Atlantic Championship. Orange Cassidy comes out with the Best Friends and Danhausen in a absolutely fantastic match here. This match was awesome.
Oh yeah, this is a really really fun match.
Yeah.
Had a blast with it.
Same here, man. I mean, if you didn't have a blast watching this match, I don't know what to tell you. Everything about this match was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and explain this match a little bit here while I fix my camera?
Sure. So it was a really good three-way dance. I mean, enjoyed the dynamic here where they're still kind of teasing whether Roosh and Ten are going to end up working together. I think that's still something that's kind of up in the air that we're not 100% sure about. But I mean, despite that, they still beat the crap out of each other. We got
Oh man.
we did get a podcast shout out during the picture in picture when Roosh threw 10 through a table that was propped up on the Daly's Place stage.
Oh,
Again,
we
just a cool
almost
ending.
got a really good shout out from him, but the table didn't break. They both choke slammed Orange Cassidy onto the timekeeper's table, and it just did not give. He hit it hard. He hit it basically right in the middle. It was just a little off to the side, but I don't know how it didn't break, man. Maybe because he's not such a big guy, but it looked like it
Yeah,
hurt. Looked like it hurt a lot.
yeah. We also got Roosh choking out people with this green rope. I think it was meant to be a bull rope because he's a bull. But I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah, I mean, let's some more cool spots, including Danhausen cursing Jose the assistant, and we end up getting Orange Cassidy retaining his All Atlantic title.
Yeah, excellent match. Orange Cassidy. The finishing here was great. You know, the way Orange Cassidy kept, orange punch for you, beach break for you, orange punch for you. It was fantastic. I loved the ending here. Cassidy pulls off the win. He gets the win with a little bit of a different, well, not really different. He's done this once before, but he rolls up 10 in what Excalibur called the deep cover, puts his hands in his pockets and gets the 1, 2, 3. Just an excellent episode of Rampage. For those of you guys that use the podcast to find out what happened on the show, we thank you guys very, very much for being with us. But I'm really telling you guys, you really do need to start watching Rampage. It's it doesn't have a lot to do with Wednesday night's Dynamite, but they are still excellent matches that you guys are missing. Like, this Willow versus Layla match, I swear to you guys, if you think I'm lying, watch this match. It's about 5 minutes and it's great. I'm telling you, these matches are awesome on Rampage. You really need to start watching them.
Yeah, correction from Ryan Davis. It was an extension cord, not a rope. Thank you. I was kind of preoccupied between the match and the Phillies in the ninth inning.
Yeah.
But
it was
yes,
extremely green. I've never seen any extension cord in any wrestling match that wasn't like a black one or maybe even a red one. This thing was
I was confused by it.
It was electric green. I was like, what the heck is that thing?
But yeah, that's why I was like, it has to be something special. But I mean, if it was just an extension cord, then it was an extension cord.
I think it actually, it kind of like, it made it more visible. I really, afterwards, I was like, I like that thing was green. You could really see it wrapped around his neck, and my only problem is 10 did not sell that very well. He held on to it long enough to choke somebody unconscious. And as soon as he like stopped yanking on it, he just took it off his neck and stood up. I was like, bro. But it's okay. So Cassidy gets the win, and Roosh and 10 kind of sort of walk down the ramp together. Roosh and 10 kind of acknowledge each other at the top of the ramp, and Roosh kind of gives him the nod. I mean, -1 comes out, and 10 kind of carries him away, but that was an interesting little, 10 and Roosh moment there at the end. Did you catch that?
Yeah, it was. I did, and like I said, I don't know what they might be leaning towards it. They might not be. I don't know.
I think we're gonna go the route of 10 being like, ever since I joined the Dark Order, I'm a loser. I don't want to be a loser anymore. You know what I mean? I think that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was our main event of Rampage. Excellent episode of Rampage again. I can't stress it enough. You got to watch some of these Rampage matches. They're really good. Even though they don't have much to do with Wednesday night's Dynamite, they're starting to be live again. This one was live. I don't know if we're gonna keep doing this constantly, but it's definitely a welcome change when they're live, on their normal time slot. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. So there was a post show thing that happened. Post show, Tony Khan, John Moxley, Wardlow, the best friends, and Brody Lee's sons shared the ring to honor the late Brian Muster, who was the lead AEW video engineer who unexpectedly passed away last Wednesday, 2 days ago.
Yeah, that was definitely unexpected.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really noticed it tonight, but the video, everything was exquisite tonight, if that was the good word to use.
Well, I mean, you got to keep in mind when you have companies like this, they train people.
Yeah.
He's working with people and teaching people the way it needs to be done. So
Yep.
I mean, like it you might not see it, but his impact is still there. Clearly
Exactly.
enough, where all of these guys want to do this post match um thing for him. I mean, like John
Yeah.
Mox. What I mean? Like I don't. Mox wasn't even on the card. I don't think Mox is wrestling on Dark tonight. So Mox is there just to do this spot.
Yeah.
Um,
And you hit the
there
nail
was
on the
a
head for me.
GoFundMe
That's what
for
I
him.
was that's what I was getting at, was that, he must have trained these other guys very well. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there was a GoFundMe for him by his family. I know Tony Khan donated like 25,000.
yep.
Uh,
Jericho, I think, did 10.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, rest in peace. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do we have set up for Dynamite on Wednesday? Do you have the lineup so far?
Unfortunately, I did not get a hold of it. It's very tricky when they do these rampages where they don't show the lineup
Yeah.
before the match. So especially because I had the Phillies on my phone, it was just like by the time they started showing it, like I wasn't able to get to my camera in time or my notes in time. So, uh, yeah,
Oh, no worries, no
unfortunately.
worries. So, we'll have some updates for you guys in the Discord throughout the week if you want to know what the matches are going to be on Dynamite. Let me go ahead and put the Discord link into the chat. Any news stories that you want to go over? I was going to mention that one there about the video engineer, but we got to that one there. Anything else that you got?
Um, Not so much. I mean, GCW is going to be working with WWE. Um, And for those that are going to use that as the argument that like, see, WWE does collaborate. Like, no, not really. Stephanie and Brett Lauderdale, he's been in Stephanie's pocket for a while now, and honestly, that's kind of why AEW talent isn't going to be on those shows anymore. Um, Also, they're just not a very safe company, in my opinion. I mean, they do a lot of death matches, which I'm not going to knock it. If you like it, you like it, but I do think GCW goes a little too far with some of its stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, in other news, Carl Anderson was double booked. He was supposed to defend his Neverweight championship on a New Japan show on November 5th, and then the Saudi shows on November 5th. He got booked for that as well, and he said he will not be wrestling at the New Japan show. The word on the street is that New Japan is very upset about this. Um,
Yo, real quick, we just got our subscription pop up from Mr. GM. Thank you very much for the subscription, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it. Um,
You're
but yeah, I
saying
mean,
Japan was upset?
yeah, the rumor going around that New Japan's kind of upset with it, which I sympathize, but I mean, just let it be a lesson. I mean, it kind of sucks for New Japan because
Yeah.
New Japan does bring in a bunch of these guys who aren't signed with them. Um, Again, it's a very, it's like New Japan, AEW, AAA are like the three that I love how much they want to collaborate with the industry. And the problem is that you're seeing it here where, you know, if the OC were going to sign with WWE, they should have at least honored their previous, what's the word? I'm having a brain fart. They should have honored their commitments.
Yeah,
And
commitments.
yeah, sorry. It's
And
been
that
a
was the
long.
understanding, is that they were.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. But again, like and I've been saying this is that they don't give a fuck. WWE does not give a fuck about New Japan. They don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. They are going to use who they use. They have Gabe Spolowski out there on the Indies, poaching talent off the Indies for WWE. They have this working relationship with GCW, which again, like it's like that doesn't mean anything at all. And it's just what they do. It's just what they do.
It is just what they do.
And people say like, "Oh, just enjoy wrestling." It's hard to enjoy wrestling when the other guy wants to take away the wrestling that I enjoy. Um,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
very,
good point.
very
You know,
difficult.
like people are like, why can't you just enjoy both? And I'm like, I try to, but one of them is actively trying to harm the other one that I actually enjoy more. You know,
Yes,
you don't
and
have to like, you don't really like have to choose sides here, but there's gonna be one that you like more than the other. You know what I'm saying? And we just happen to like AEW more, and it really feels like the other side is like actively trying to harm them when nobody in AEW is trying to harm WWE. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I think that like you said something interesting about picking a side, and the thing is, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to pick a side.
And that's what I said. Yeah.
However, however, you kind of have to pick a side because, like I said, one side clearly wants to get rid of the other side,
Yeah.
and that's the way I look at it. So like that's the thing. Like I want people to be happy, and I want them to enjoy what they want to enjoy. Like I don't give a fuck what you do as long as you don't infringe on what I do. That's how I live my life, and that's how I enjoy my wrestling. And right now, the other side wants to infringe on how I enjoy my wrestling.
Yep.
So you're gonna get what you put in. So fuck them. I don't like them, and yeah.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is. What up, Darth Giles? Always will love me some AEW. AEW got me back into wrestling, and I'll always appreciate them for that.
Exactly.
Dude, Darth, absolutely, man. Like, you know, like we always say, you know, back when they basically killed uh Bray Wyatt in Saudi Arabia, you know, that was devastating. And if it wasn't for AEW, I may have stopped watching wrestling altogether back then, you know what I mean? But it's definitely kept us into it, and it's been a great time. And you know, that subscription reminded me there is a couple of other subscriptions that we got throughout the week. I just wanted to throw out there. One of them is from Gorny Sun. Gorny Sun was a subscriber as well. We had the Los Angeles South Bay Throws has subscribed. Thank you as well. So thank you guys for all the subscribers throughout the week. Oh, we just got another new one here. John Sherrod has subscribed. Thank you, sir. Awesome,
Thank you.
man.
Really appreciate it.
That's cool. It kind of reminds everybody to hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Hit that like button as well if you haven't. Thank you guys very much. Well, I think that might be it. You got anything else you want to go over besides the Phillies winning and going up 2-1?
Yeah, man, they're 2 games away from the World Series.
Let's
You know,
fucking
I
go.
don't want to get too personal. I had a really bad day today. And the Phillies and AEW did a really nice job at kind of taking me away for a few hours. So I really appreciate that. That type of stuff is invaluable. So yeah, you know.
Yep. All right. Ryan here says, I enjoy AEW more so than WWE, but I do watch the WWE pay-per-views. Ryan, I have to admit, I do the same thing. I do watch their pay-per-views just to kind of keep up. But I will tell you, honest to God, I have absolutely not a clue of even 1 second of SmackDown tonight. I was watching that Phillies game. I literally forgot that it was on. So,
Oh, so I'll say this, Jeff. I saw on Twitter. So you know how everyone complains like, oh, why is Tony Storm wrestling on Dark? Why are these big stars wrestling on Dark and stuff, right? So tell me how the SmackDown Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey, wrestled a dark match tonight before SmackDown.
yeah,
And
because
not
that's
like a
what
dark match
champions
that got
do.
aired. Not a dark match that got aired. No, like a actual dark match.
Yeah, you know, some people just don't understand because they don't pay attention to the show that they watch when they try to make fun of the other show. Roman does dark matches too, or he did before he was all Mr. I'm doing movies now.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darth Gills loves the Discord. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Darth Gills is always in there with Halloween stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so he's the one who posted all that stuff. Yo, that was superb handwriting, whoever wrote that.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume he wrote it until he says otherwise. But yeah, that was really cool. I saw that in the
well
Discord.
done. It was very impressive, to be honest. Like, the more I scrolled through it, I was like, this is impressive. Someone took time for this.
And it's impressive because it's broken down from like channel to channel. So if like you're a Nickelodeon kid, if you're a Disney Channel kid, if you're a Cartoon Network kid, you know what I mean? Like here's the page for that. Here's the page for that. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, and if you don't know what we're talking about, join the Discord. It's right there in chat where Nightbot linked the Discord there. You can join our Discord. We have conversations about all kinds of stuff. We got wrestling, we got AEW Discord, we got WWE Discord, TV and movies, which is what Darth posted. Posted essentially a giant list of every Halloween show and movie that you could want to see over the next few weeks. It's
even just Halloween shows. It was like Halloween episodes.
Yeah, just really, really good. You did it, my God. That was very impressive. Excellent.
Yeah, I was just like blown away by it. I was like, holy shit.
All right, man. I think that's gonna do it for us for tonight. You want to go ahead and close us out?
Yeah. Well, this has been episode 83 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone checking us out in the stream. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and a subscribe. Thank you to everybody who's checking us out in the future, post live, like the coach. Usually, if he's not here live, he's usually checking us out in the morning. This is our Rampage Review Show, which is exclusive to our YouTube channel. We do go live on Wednesdays also for Dynamite with our Dynamite review. But we are also found on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor on the Wednesday show. You can follow us at our social media stuff in the description below. Like I said, we go live every single Wednesday, Friday, and even pay-per-views. We're on the road to full gear, which we will be at, which is very exciting times. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. While I'm sitting here fumbling around with the jacket, trying to show everybody the back. We got Darth saying, have a good night, fellas. Ryan saying good night, fellas, as well. And thank you guys very much for joining us here tonight. We appreciate you guys joining us every single night, every week that we are here. Until next time, thank you guys very much, and Top Guys, out.